Hey, what's up? How's everybody doing today? All right. First off, happy Thanksgiving to all my American viewers and to all my non-American viewers. It is not a bad day to give thanks, no matter where you are in the world. You don't really need a holiday to remember how to be thankful for the people that are in your life, the things and the blessings that are around you. And if you're watching this video, you're probably in a very good place. Anyways, so I got a text message recently about 2 weeks ago actually, and I've been really on the fence about how to respond to this one because of the sensitive nature of the topic right now. Hi Rex, have been watching your vids for a little while now, and you seem like you're intellectually balanced. Thank you very much. I was wondering if you could share your perspective on the current conflict in the Middle East right now. I'm assuming he's talking about Israel and Palestine. All my friends seem really divided and have even come to fistfights over Palestine and Israel, and it seems silly to me. That's because it is silly. You should never get into a fistfight with anybody. Ever. I don't know which side I should support. Was wondering if you could give me your insight. Thank you. So, there is a lot of things to unpack here. First off, you shouldn't ever get into fistfights with anybody. The only time you should ever there's only two circumstances in which you should ever get into a fistfight. The first one is if you're a amateur or professional fighter and you're fighting inside of a ring with referee, with judges, and you have trained experience. That's scenario one. Scenario two of that you should only ever get into fight is if your life is in actual danger. If somebody is actually threatening you or those around you, you should probably fight back. Which also gets into the Israel Palestine situation. So you're asking for me for my perspective on it, right? Well, here's the thing. I know very little about Israel and Palestine. I've read a few books, I've read a few articles, and I've paid a little bit of attention about what's going on. And I am in a couple of online groups where they do discuss Israel and Palestine heavily. And here's the thing. I just want to start off with you don't have to choose a side here. Unless your family is in Israel, is in Palestine, is in Gaza, or in the West Bank, in that region, you don't have to choose a side. One of the things that we get lost in this world is that because of the way social media is and uh, the way that the internet works, the way that everything in this world works, with the way the government works, Democrats, Republicans, black, white, male, female, whatever, everyone is so caught up in trying to choose a side because they're so busy trying to tell and show other people what a good person you are. And the thing about being a good person is you don't have to tell people that you're a good person. Your actions are going to speak for themselves. I can go out of my way and tell you that I'm a good person, or I can just show you I'm a good person by doing my job, helping people that are around me, helping old ladies cross the road if I ever come across one. Just by being a good person. Putting up an Israeli, putting up a Palestinian, putting up a Ukraine or Russian flag next to your name in Instagram doesn't make you a good person at all. Putting up the gay pride flags to show that you show support for the LGBT groups does not make you a good person. Choosing one side over another does not make you a good person. That just makes you a person that chooses to support one side. The world isn't divided into good people and bad people. It's not divided into those who support Israel, those who support Hamas, those who support Black Lives Matter, and those who support KKK. That's not how the world works. There are a lot of nuances and layers to how the world works. And if we're ever going to make any progress together as a people, we have to recognize those nuances. Because what's going on in Ukraine, in the Middle East right now, is a lot of killings on both sides. I'm not gonna go into who started who fired the first shot, who deserves to be there. The fact of the matter is, we as human beings, we constantly move around all the time, and when we move, other people come in and take their place, and sometimes we want that space back, and we see it as rightfully ours, so we force our way back in. But then the people that have been living there don't feel like they're being invaded. But then the people that are invading feel like, no, this is originally our land. But then who is right? Well, guess what? They're both right and they're both wrong at the same time. People have a right to live. People have a right to exist. You don't have a right to end someone else's life unless they're threatening yours. But in the case like this, they're both threatening each other. They have both have guns pointed at each other for the last 50, 60 years. One side has more guns and more powerful guns, but it's still there are still guns aimed at each other nevertheless. I'm not going to tell you who to support. That's your own decision. And if you want to know who I support, I don't support either side. I don't support war. I don't support destruction. I don't support genocide. I don't support killing. And both sides are doing that as far as I'm concerned. I'm for diplomacy. I'm for peaceful resolutions. I'm for living together. And I also recognize that we as human beings we're still animals that are territorial at the end of the day, and we're fighting for survival. Now, the way we fight for survival is different from the way that an animal in the wild is going to fight for survival. But you have to recognize that the people of Israel are fighting for their survival. They have about 7 different countries aimed with intercontinental ballistic missiles aimed at them 24/7. Their intelligence agency is the most sophisticated on the planet. Yes, more than the United States. Because they're literally gathering information for their survival. The day they stop gathering information is the day that 7 countries launch thousands of missiles and blow them and annihilate all of Israel. And Palestine, those people, they feel like they're being invaded because they've been living there, and then suddenly out of nowhere, these group of people just come and say, "Hey, we want your land," and then the Palestinians can't do anything because the Israelis have nukes. Um, there's good and bad on both sides. There are people that are trying to fight for their survival. I'm not gonna. I don't have a stake in this war. Yes, I am an American. Yes, my country supports Israel at the end of the day. But that doesn't mean that I have to support Israel. I support the things that I choose to support. I was neither for Ukraine or for Russia. I was neither for NATO or for the revival of the USSR or whatever Vladimir Putin's plans are. I have no stake there. No, my stake is here at home with my people, in my city, with my friends, with the people that are in my life. That's where my stake is. Everyone is too busy trying to tell people to support the side that I want you to support, and if you don't support my side, you're a bad person. You have to understand that there's nuances to life, to everything. Few things are actually black and white. So what should you do with your friends? You tell them the truth. Tell them that you haven't chosen to choose a side. You may not ever choose a side. If you're as intelligent as I believe that you are, I actually don't even know who sent me this. This was a random text message that was sent. Yeah, I put my phone number at the bottom of these videos, just so people can send me things like this for business and for just random questions as well. But if you're as intelligent as I believe you are, because it sounds like based on your text message that you see nuance, you don't know who to support. You don't have you don't have to support. I'll give you permission to not have to support things that you don't understand. And supporting something you don't understand is the worst thing to do from a belief perspective, because at that point you're just a dogmatic religious zealot. But again, what to do with your friends? Tell You may lose a friend over this, and you have to be prepared for this. But you have to tell them, hey, listen, I get that you're Israeli, I get that you're Palestinian, And I get that there's a lot of messed up, fucked up shit going on with your people on that side of the country, on that side of the Atlantic Ocean. And I feel for you. I really do feel. I don't think anybody can see those blown up hospitals, those blown up schools, those blown up buildings, thousands of people dead. I don't think anybody can look at that and go, oh, damn, that is fine. No, everybody who's looking at that is saying, there's some really bad things going on over there. But here's the reality, what's going on over there isn't new. Again, like I said earlier, the Israelis and the Palestinians, they've had guns aimed at each other for the last 50, 60, 70 years. That entire part of the world has had guns aimed at each other. Most of them are aimed at Israel, but Israel is aiming back at the rest at everybody else. October 7th wasn't anything unique. I mean, it was a huge surprise attack out of nowhere. Caught a lot of us by surprise. For the record, I don't think Israel was caught off by surprise. I actually do think that on some level they probably okayed it, because again, you don't have the most sophisticated intelligence agency in the world and miss something like that. But that's a whole separate topic, whole separate video. I'm not going to get into right now. You don't have to choose a side. You may lose a friend when you tell them that, yeah, there's bad things going on over there, but I can't support either side because both sides have done some very bad things. When animals are cornered by the hunter, they will fight back. They will strike back. In this case, who's the predator, who's the hunter? That depends on your perspective. If you're the Palestinians, you view yourself as the prey, and you view the Israelis as the predator. If you're the Israelis, right now you feel like, well, maybe on October 7th you felt like you were the prey, and Hamas was the predator. Friends are gonna fight. That's what friends are going to do. I've had so many fights with so many friends throughout the years, and just the next morning we just pieced it out and then everything was okay. And I get that this is a politically charged, very emotionally charged topic, but you can't go through life caring about every single thing that comes your way, because if you do, you're gonna get absolutely nothing done with your life, nothing at all. You only have so much energy, so many fucks to give, right? You've heard that phrase. I only have so many fucks to give. You have to know when to apply that. If something like this, I don't know what your stake in it is, but if you're like me, you don't have much of a stake in it. And if you don't have much of a stake in it, then you can choose to follow it, but you don't have to choose a side. Choosing sides is how we create division at the end of the day. I'm going to choose to be a Democrat, therefore I can't support being a Republican. I'm going to choose to support Just Stop Oil, therefore I can't support anything else in existence, and I'm going to sit in front of the highway and block traffic. And when you start to make decisions that are completely black and white, completely binary like that, that's when you create unorganized chaos. And unorganized chaos leads to destruction at the end of the day. What do I mean by that? Well, there's chaos, right? The universe continuously functions in a chaotic state. It was chaotic 15 billion years ago, or 25 billion, depending on what physicist you follow. The universe was in a chaotic state, right? It was just a huge mass of atoms spreading all over the place, extremely hot temperatures, extremely high temperatures, extremely high pressure, and as we expanded outwards and as we cooled down, things began to clump together. The space that existed in between the clumps, that's unorganized chaos. Nothing happens there. But where the organized chaos happens, inside the galaxies, inside the solar systems, inside the planets, that's when you see systems start to form. When you choose to support everything, you're existing in unorganized chaos because you don't have boundaries of what you believe in, of what's important to you. And you need in life to have clear boundaries of things that you support and things that you don't support. And when they say things you don't support, I don't mean that you're anti that. I just mean that you don't care about it. There are more important things. I can't afford to care about Israel and Hamas, and I'm speaking personally right now. Just like I can't afford to care about Ukraine and Russia. Are those things important? On a global stage, yes, they are very important. They are very impactful. These things will have reverberations throughout the entire world. But I can't. But I have businesses to run. I have a YouTube channel to manage. I have martial arts competitions that I need to train for. I have fitness programs that I need to run. I have friends that I need to make time for. I have people that are depending on me. And I have to be there for them. And if I'm too busy on Reddit, on Discord, on Twitter, talking crap on my phone, I'm not going to be there for my friends. If we invade China, maybe I have a stake now, but at the end of the day, that's still a war that I have no control over. So unless you're ready to just pick up a rifle, join the army, go across to the Middle East, and fight some people, you really don't have a stake. And it's tough because I get that that's not an option for everybody. But you have to choose what to care about, what to not care about. I'm not saying to care about something and be anti the other. That's not what I'm talking about. It's just choosing what's important to you. So this was a little bit of a long-winded discussion, but I hope it definitely helps you out, and I hope it gave you some things to think about, some things to really ponder on because we're in very emotional times right now, and more important than ever, we need each other to be level-headed and not be emotional. We need that now more than ever in these crazy times that we're in. All right. Thank you very much for watching, and if you made it to the end, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. If you have any further questions or any comments that you wish me to discuss on the channel, just text me down below. My number would be down there. Thank you.